everybody, I'm taking my filly on a short ride over to an arena, so I figured I'd take us along for it. She has not gone to another arena and gone off the trailer, and my plan today is to keep things super duper simple. Literally just bring her there, let her check it out, load her up, and bring her back home. The ride is 10 minutes down a straight road, so it should be a good haul. And yeah, let's see what happens. So the first thing I do is drive to the next property to come pick her up. I could have walked over here and caught her, but for this round I'm just going to pick her up over here versus walk over here and then walk her back to my trailer. Looks like she's closer to this gate. There she is on the hill, so I'm gonna park right here. Hopefully nobody else has to come up the driveway. She is so good and curious. It's really fun to teach the curious ones. So something I think is really important to remember is the truck's running, it's in the driveway, and yet when I came up here to halter her, I had to be specific that I was being still really soft, really specific, and asking her to not brace into the halter. If she did, we would have had to work on that in that moment, because when you halter them, that sets the tone for everything else that's going to happen next. My gelding isn't that interested today, so that kind of shows me that I probably overdid it the past couple days by taking him twice. So I have been casting her on, but today I'm just going to lead her on because I do not want to fuss with her with casting, and I know she'll probably just lead right on. So we'll still let her check it out like she hasn't been on before. So I stick her rope out the window because that's where I'll tie her. Don't turn around. And I grab her slant, which I've already practiced all this. This is nothing new. Hang on, I need two hands. Now she's just gonna hang out here for a second. She's pawing because this is nerve-wracking for her, and she also knows probably that she's leaving my gelding. And I didn't want to bring him today because I already brought him twice this week. And he hasn't been hauling much, so don't want to overdo it. So then I tie her from the outside here, and no, she does not have a hay bag because she doesn't know how to eat out of one, and even if I hang it there, she probably won't eat out of it today. So that's another project. We'll see how he does with her leaving. So now I have to come up the driveway to turn around. There's a little turnaround area, so of course Reno's following her. So I want to talk a little bit about horses that get buddy sour like this. Like I'm hauling one away, and the one in the trailer screaming, and the one in the pasture screaming and running after her, and all that kind of stuff. So my horses are the only two horses on the pasture that they're on right now, and they're a little bit I would say kind of trauma bonded because they came here, brand new place, total new everything together. So they definitely kind of leaned on each other to get more confident and feel safe in the area that they live in. So splitting them up is definitely something that is difficult for them, but it is something that is necessary for them to work out. And so typically one of the best things you can do is just don't worry too much that they're calling for each other, and just keep going forward. And if the horse was on the end of the line, you would want to work on continuing to guide that horse and to pay attention to you and follow your rope, and therefore feel safe with you and not have to worry about the other horses. Now, some people will keep horses apart because they're afraid of them bonding like this, but the thing is that horses need other horses, and you can't just keep them separated because of what inconvenience it might cause you if they become bonded. So I think, I got my window down, I can hear her. She was hollering and pawing a little bit and stuff. So, but here soon, she'll quit, and hopefully my gelding will quit too, because every time I've taken my gelding away and my filly, which is the one that's on the trailer, was left behind, every time we came home, she was peacefully grazing. So sometimes the hollering for each other really doesn't last as long as we might think it does. So something else I want to mention too is in the beginning of previous video, you may have seen me just like load her up and go, and she was pawing and stuff. I have already practiced a lot of hauling or loading for her. I did it in pieces and broke it down so that way she could put things all together. So now I just came on my stoplight, so I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna stop. So some horses can get a little anxious to get off whenever the truck stops because they know shortly after that they get off. So I'm just gonna wait here a second, then I'm gonna unload her, and then unfortunately after that I'm not gonna be able to film. So we have arrived. Usually I might brush them a little bit or pet them a little bit, but only if that's beneficial to her. Sometimes that might just make them more anxious and worried, adding in more touch, so we'll see what she thinks. I have a feeling she's pretty indifferent. So now before I open her slant, I'm going to untie her and hang it out the window. And the reason for that is because I don't want to open this slant while she's still tied, and it could lead to a disaster if she wants to start backing up. She does tie really well, so I'm not worried necessarily about her wanting to pull through the rope too far, but, you know, be safe. So I just opened my slant, pet her a little bit. Easy now. I'll only ask her to back up when I ask. Alright, here we go. A little bit of pressure. Step, step. Okay. So Harley did really good. We walked around for about, probably 15-20 minutes or so, and I just let her check things out, let her just be a young horse who's really curious, still while guiding her with some direction and feel, because I don't want her to just learn that she can completely just go wherever she wants to go. It's more like we were going there together. And she didn't whinny once, which I expected her maybe to whinny because there's no other horses around. She had one big spook at a chip bag blowing in the wind, but we went and checked it out and she was really good with it. And she breathed out, she licked and chewed, she did really good, and it's so much fun teaching the young ones because it's just so much different than the ones that have, just spend a lifetime of nervousness. And then I loaded her and I spent about 15 minutes picking up piles around, and I did not hear a peep from her. No whinnying, no pawing, no nothing. She could see me for some of it, so I have a feeling she was just kind of like watching me. But I also know that there were times that she couldn't see me, so really proud. Gonna take her home now. And there's my gelding waiting for her. So now she started hot messing again. Lots of pawing and whinnying because we're home. And she heard my gelding. They're talking back and forth to each other, so that definitely spurred on some more anxious feelings. So now I'm just gonna make sure she stays steadied for a moment before I release her. That's probably not gonna stay there because it's just like on a ledge in the trailer. But we'll see. Okay. Heading. Slant. Deep breath. So what's nice is she knows how to follow the rope. So if she feels the tension of it hanging out the window, she actually stops. She doesn't know how to pull through it yet, so it's important to me that I don't incidentally teach her that. Can't turn it. Now we are backing. So hard. Now I'm just gonna stand here a moment. I don't like to just immediately release them. It's like steady. take a moment. So I guess after I got Harley off the trailer, I forgot to film the next piece, which was just that I turned her out and she went to go hang out with my gelding Reno, and that's all that she did for today. I'll brush her a little bit this evening because I'm spending some time with some other people with my horses, and yeah, so I'll do it again next week. Thanks for watching.